In the time of Sultan Salaauddin Ayyubi, a young girl who worked in the royal stables, found her life turned upside down one tragic morning. Someone had pressed a cloth soaked with intoxicating liquid over her face, and she lost consciousness. When she awoke, she found herself in a dark corner of the stables, injured, terrified, and utterly alone. In her trembling hand, she found a note. It read, "Is greater than, thank you for the moments of pleasure." With that note clutched tightly in her hand, she went straight to the Sultan's court. On the Sultan's command, the handwriting of every servant in the palace and the stables was examined, but none matched the writing on the note. It was an age before DNA tests, fingerprints, or CCTV cameras. So the Sultan adopted a method so astonishing that even today, it leaves people in awe. One day, as the Sultan sat in his open court, listening to the petitions of his people and delivering justice, a frail young girl suddenly appeared before him. Her clothes were dusty, her eyes weary, but her face radiated dignity and self-respect. The Sultan asked gently, "Is greater than daughter? What brings you here? What troubles you?" She bowed her head and said, "Is greater than, my father is a blacksmith, Your Majesty. A few days ago, a spark burned his hand while working. His hand is now useless. We have no money for treatment and have been going to bed hungry." The Sultan's heart trembled. He thought to himself, "Is greater than if, on the day of judgment, Allah asks me, 'In your kingdom, people went hungry. What were you doing? What will I answer?'" He immediately summoned the treasurer and ordered that gold coins be given to the girl and that a monthly allowance be fixed for her father. But the girl raised her head and spoke with firm humility. "No, Your Majesty, I do not want charity or allowance. My father raised me to be self-reliant, not a burden. If you permit, give me some work in the palace so I can earn with dignity." The Sultan, deeply moved by her courage, ordered that she be given a suitable job. No vacancies were available in the palace, so she was offered work in the royal stables. The work was hard, but she smiled and said, "Is greater than, when intentions are pure, no work is small." From that day, she worked diligently, feeding the horses, fetching water, and cleaning the stalls. Neither heat nor cold deterred her. She had only one dream to support her parents. Then came that cursed morning. Before dawn, she arrived at the stables as usual, unaware that a beast awaited her. As she entered, he came up from behind and pressed a drugged cloth to her face. When she regained consciousness, her body ached with pain. A small pouch of gold coins and that cursed note lay beside her. Tears streamed down her face. She trembled as she thought, "Is greater than. If people find out, my parents will die of shame. My life is ruined." But then she wiped her tears and said to herself, "Is greater than, if I stay silent today, this monster will destroy others tomorrow. I trust the Sultan's justice." And though weak and weeping, she gathered the note and the pouch and set off for the Sultan's court. That day, the Sultan was holding open court, hearing the people's grievances. Suddenly, the sound of a woman weeping reached him. He ordered, "Is greater than, bring her here." Moments later, the girl was brought in. Her face was pale, her eyes swollen from crying, her body covered in dust. The Sultan recognized her instantly. "Is greater than daughter," he asked. "What has happened to you?" With trembling lips, she said, "Is greater than, Your Majesty. When I went to the stables this morning, someone was hiding there. He drugged me. When I awoke, I found this note and these gold coins." The Sultan's face darkened with anger. He took the note, studied the handwriting, and ordered that all the palace workers write a sample of the same sentence. But none matched. Silence filled the court. The Sultan pondered for a moment. Then he said, "Bring me the pouch of gold coins that was found with her." As he examined the coins closely, his eyes suddenly gleamed. "Is greater than the culprit," he declared, "is not outside, but within these walls. If he confesses now, his punishment may be lighter. Otherwise, there will be no mercy." No one spoke. Then the Sultan commanded, "Is greater than bring a large cauldron, fill it with water and light a fire beneath it." The crowd watched in shock. The water began to boil. The Sultan dropped the gold coins into the cauldron one by one. Then he announced, "Is greater than, the criminal is not a stable worker or a palace servant. He is a honey merchant from outside the city. Arrest all the honey sellers immediately." The guards obeyed. Soon, 4 well-known honey merchants were brought before him. 3 confidently proved their innocence, but the 4th turned pale, his forehead beaded with sweat. "Is greater than, where were you this morning?" asked the Sultan. He stammered, "At my shop, then I went to the mosque." Witnesses stepped forward and said, "Is greater than, he wasn't in the mosque. We saw him heading toward the stables with a pouch in his hand." The Sultan thundered, "Is greater than, if you deny it again, you will be thrown into this boiling water yourself." The man fell to his knees, trembling. "Is greater than your majesty, forgive me, I have sinned." The Sultan ordered, "Is greater than, take him to the dungeon, let him be a lesson to all." As the guards dragged him away, the courtiers were astonished. "Is greater than your majesty?" they asked. "How did you know he was the one?" The Sultan smiled faintly and replied, "Is greater than, when handwriting failed to prove anything, I looked at the coins. They had a strange stickiness, not like normal coins. I smelled them, they carried the scent of honey. So I dropped them in boiling water. The honey melted and floated to the surface. That's when I knew the culprit must be a honey seller." The entire court exclaimed, "Subhanallah," in awe of the Sultan's wisdom and justice. Yet the young girl stood silently, tears still falling. The Sultan asked gently, "Is greater than daughter, you have been given justice. Your oppressor is punished. Why do you still cry?" She sobbed, "Your Majesty, you gave me justice, but the honor I lost can never return. Where will I go now? My parents will see me as a burden." Then the official who had arranged her job in the stables stepped forward and said, "Is greater than your majesty, it was my negligence that placed her in the stables. I wish to atone for that mistake. If you permit, I would like to take her as my wife and bring her into my home with honor." The Sultan immediately summoned the Qazi, and the marriage was solemnized right there in the royal court. Every eye in the court was filled with tears, but this time they were tears of gratitude and peace. Thus, Sultan Salaauddin Ayyubi, R.A.'s justice punished the wicked, restored dignity to the oppressed, and gave a ruined girl a new home, a new life, and a new honor. Such justice only a truly great ruler can deliver.